Welcome to Tusks Tales, where the stories run deep, the dogs run harder, and the hunts got more heart than hype. From the swamps to the hill country, we're bringing you the voices of real dog men and women who live for the chase, the bond and the bark that breaks the silence. This show is powered by the best in the game, HardcoreHogDogs.com, cut vests, collars, and gear built by dog men for dog men. Use code Tusks Tales for a discount that'll outlast your boots. HogTurnal Headlamps. When the lights go out, these bad boys turn the woods back on, bright, tough, and made for the thicket. 2B Hog Dogs. Two brothers, one passion, breeding heart, drive, and handle into every dog that hits the woods. Reach out to Kenneth and Tequil Smith and let them know that you heard him on this podcast. Boars and Broads, where the hog dog lifestyle meets the back road attitude. Use code TNT at checkout and wear it proud. TheBestDogProducts.com, keeping your pack healthy and ready. From flea pills to wormers and everything in between, they've got what your dogs need at prices that make sense. Use code TNT for a discount at checkout. That would be the and sign. Dirty South Calls, built for the woods, tuned by a dog man. Contact Hunter Ledger or message their page and use code T and Tails for a deal that'll make your next hunt sing. So leash up your pack, grab your light, and ride with us. This is Tusks and Tales, where every hunt tells a story and every story's got tusks.
It's a big ass one. Holy shit. That's a fucking good one.
Hello, y'all. Welcome back to Tusks and Tales. This week, we got a guest coming on from Louisiana. This should be a good talk here. I do got to make a couple announcements. I got to give a shout out to the Best Dog Products. They became a supporter this week, as well as Dirty South Calls. All right, y'all, at the beginning of this podcast, you should hear me mention them, and y'all can reach out, let them know you heard them on the podcast. And, it means a lot to us. Once again, I kind of brought up yesterday, if anybody missed it, the Ask Away Wednesdays, I'm going to start doing those a little bit. Feel free to get on there. I'll try to keep all the guests, any guests that can really get on there and answer some questions. Maybe y'all can ask them in the comment section and we can get them answered. But I do want to mention, y'all, analytics, man. We're blowing up. We get a lot of views, but we're at 98.9% of the listeners are not followers. So y'all, all it takes is a quick click of the follow button. Follow me on Facebook. Follow me wherever, and just help keep this podcast going. That's all I ask. I don't ask for any money or anything from y'all. Just hit the follow button, share the podcast when they come out, and that goes a long ways. Now, with that being said, do you mind telling us who you are, where you're from, and what kind of dogs you run?
Yeah, my name's Colby Bushnell. I'm from Dry Creek, Louisiana, better known as God's Country. And, I've always just ran cur dogs. They've crossed up at plots. I ain't no specific dog breed, man. I'll run anything that'll do the job. I don't look down on any other dogs. But I've been a cur dog man myself. The more cur, the better for me.
That makes sense. No, a lot of people seem to favor that cur dog side. Let's jump into that real quick. I didn't even write this down to even want to talk about. I don't really try to keep anything scripted, but I always have some questions on my mind for, guests. But, can you kind of mention why you prefer the cur side? Maybe give listeners a little insight on that?
Man, in all honesty, that's all I've ever ran. And that was something my dad ran. I got into this whenever I was old enough to walk. I remember getting put up in trees whenever I could barely walk, So as early as I could remember, I hunted. My dad, he always hunted cur dogs, and he still, if it ain't a cur dog, it ain't worth feeding. He still tried true. He don't even hunt no more. He ain't hunted probably since I was 13, was whenever he got rid of everything. And, but no, I just, to me, it's the stopping power, man, but I've gotten to where now I don't even think that's true, because around the house here they run so freaking bad that it's hard to get them stopped. You can go to one spot one day and turn loose, and they'll run all day long. You can go back to the same spot, run the same hogs the next day, and they'll back up and bay. I just prefer cur dogs. It's what I was raised around, and that's just me. I've had pretty much any breed of dog you can think of to try it, and I've always just filtered back to a cur dog.
So you wouldn't say any of it has anything to do with like them being silent versus open, and if you breed too much hound into a cur, it makes them open. I mean, none of that really matters to you.
Not to me, man. I've caught hogs with dogs that bark every breath. I've owned dogs, cur dogs, that would bark every breath behind a hog, which, they was crossed up with some plot in them. But a dog that barks on track to me don't bother them. It's just a preference for me. I like a silent dog, which my male dog I have now, he's semi-open. Some days he won't say a word, and some days he sounds like a running hound. I'm not a picky man whenever it comes to dogs. As long as it does the job, I'm good with it.
Yeah. No, I'm feeling you. I'm just trying to figure out, my own stuff, I guess, still. I got a general idea of where I'm wanting to go with it, but, we talked a little bit real quick about the, open and silent. I asked you that, but let me ask you this. Have you ever ran into the issue with maybe a babbler or something at a young age, under, let's say under 2 years old, and they'll jump out the box screaming every breath, and then as they get older, you notice that stuff goes away, and they actually start opening up, like, when they see the hog?
Yeah, for a matter of fact, I just got rid of one. He didn't turn out how I wanted. He was too rough. He got to where he was breaking bays.
Oh, yeah.
And so I got rid of him. And but he was like that. You drop him out with other dogs, and if he's behind him, he's barking. Whether he smells anything or not, he's babbled bad. Drop him out by himself, it's like he'd just get overexcited, and he'd run down the road wide open barking at nothing. Like, I could let him out just to piss, and he would do that. But after he got, I don't know, about a year and a half old, he quit doing that. Just one day he went from doing it to not doing it at all.
Yeah. See, I wanted to talk about that a little bit, because I was talking to my wife about that earlier today, and I was telling her, I was like, man, I remember Newt being a real bad babbler. I mean, my lead dog, he used to just, anywhere we dropped him, he was yab, screaming every breath until he got back to the boat or the buggy or whatever the case may be. And now it's just the old trustworthy open up. When he opens up, I know it's a hog. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. So I feel as if what I'm trying to get at is maybe some people are culling those open dogs / babbling dogs or whatever maybe a little too soon. Maybe it's just a lot of excitement at a young age. They might run themselves out of it.
Yeah, man, to me, that's all that is, that's the puppy in them. Now, I'm going to dog on Trace for a second, because he loved the dog, but he was an older dog, and he was bad about babbling. But the dog was good. Trace caught a lot of hogs with that dog. And I think he was a full-blooded walker, bred high up for coon hunting, and Trace got him for coon hunting.
Like a treeing walker, I'm assuming?
Yeah, he was a full-blooded treeing walker, high named papers for good coon dog stock, and that's what Trace got him for. He ended up just turning him on hogs, and the dog would win. That dog knew he would win. And he had something, because whenever he got killed, it's like it slacked off on Trace stopping hogs. That's like that dog was the missing piece, was the piece that was there that was stopping him. But he babbled bad.
Huh. I wonder so I got a dog from somebody that claimed they used Trace's male walker to breed to a plot hound. Would you ever recall any of those, or is that guy just filling me full of shit?
Man, if it was, it would have to be Rebo. That's the only walker that I know, male walker, that he's had, unless he's talking about a running walker. But I don't even remember Trace having any running walkers besides his deer dogs, and I want to say they're both gyps.
Yeah, no, the plot hound was out of Bayou Cajun stock, 100%. I seen her papers, but they kept saying it was Trace Davis's best walker male. And
that would have to be Rebo.
I think I talked to Trace about it. I still got her. She's only 9 months old now.
No, it ain't Rebo. Rebo's been dead.
Yeah, see, I need to talk to him about that then. I thought I did. I might. Yeah, I'm not. I thought the guy was full of shit, to be honest, because he was just messaging about all these people that I knew on that I had as Facebook friends. And shit just seemed, you know how people are on Facebook.
Oh, yeah.
And, but I mean, he was like, look, she's a colt, you know, here you go. And she looked the part, you know what I mean? She looked it. So I was like, whatever, I'll take her. But,
it couldn't have been Rebo, because I want to say Rebo's been dead over 3 years.
Oh, wow.
At the minimum, it's 2. But I want to say it's 3 years.
He get by a hog or just old age or?
No, the hog.
Oh, shit. Those are the worst, man, because it's like, like, I don't know if it's happened to you, but when my boo dog went, my female plot that I freaking got going good, like, steady, and she used to, like, not leave my feet, just a little weird, and then I finally got her going good, and it was like, every fucking time she'd heal up, and I'd drop her again, she'd get cut back down, but gosh damn, I could tell, like, the amount of, learning that my dogs were gaining from it. And then when she went, like you said, it was kind of like a missing piece to a puzzle. I was like, shit.
Yeah, it's like to me, it's like a dog. You run a couple dogs together, one of them dies. That's what makes the whole package. One of them dies, it had its part in there, you know, and whenever it dies, they got to relearn what that dog did to do it by themselves.
Yeah.
That's what I'm not no special hog hunter or nothing, but that's what I believe.
No, I'm not disagreeing with you. I think I believe you're right on that. I do. That's why I try to, run one I'll separate them dogs and make them run with something else. Because after she went, it was like shit, because I took her on a lot of hunts. And that's why I'm trying to kind of steer away from letting all these dogs run with new and, just make them do it on their own. I don't like running dogs behind others. How do you do your puppy process, out of curiosity?
If I'm raising a puppy, I'm just like Kenneth is with his. Best way to let them learn themselves is let them run around the yard, run rabbits and deer, whatever else whatever they want to run, they can go out and do what they want to. And then I just started introducing them into the woods and letting them run with older dogs. And as soon as they kind of start figuring out, I'll pull them and focus on them by themselves. You can't dump them out if there's no hogs. So, a feeder or, cutting, turn loose and rooting or whatever, where, the hogs are there.
Yeah.
And just build their confidence up. And that's what seems to always work the best for me.
Yeah.
If it's in them, it's in them. If it ain't, you can't make a dog that ain't got it.
I mean, so what do you believe? I mean, you say that, and this is one I always kind of disagree with everybody. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion, but you really don't believe you can make a dog actually start wanting to hunt?
No, you can. You can pick a dog up on the side of the road, don't know nothing about it, make it hunt, but it's got to be in the dog to want to hunt. To have that little click. It might not want to when you first get it. But yes, I believe that you can make one want to. Okay.
I thought you were sitting there saying, I must get a misconception from what a lot of people, because everybody makes that same statement, and I'm looking at it like, if the dog ain't straight baying a hog by, 4 months old, it has no interest in hogs. It's never going to get it.
No, I don't believe that.
Because I believe if you put enough time into a dog and show them, you should be able to get them going. Especially dropping them in enough sign. But I see what you're saying. If they just absolutely do not have the want, will, or passion or anything, you might be up shit's creek with that dog.
Yeah, for instance, my dad rode when I was probably, 9 or 10. We went to the post office. There was a pretty little brindle jip there, but she had, I guess, heat mange or whatever, red mange, whatever the hell they call it. Not the bad stuff, but, her hair was all messed up, but what was left over, she was a good-looking dog, and she was wild. You couldn't touch her. Well, it took Dad about 4 days, and finally he was able to go there. He roped her in the parking lot of the post office.
Oh, shit.
Brought her home, put her on a chain, and the first time we brought her, she went with the other dogs, and it was like she knew what she was doing, and that was a damn good dog.
Well, hey, that brings up a very good question. So I have a male, kind of same circumstances. He's been cut by this pig twice, right? He's got a couple cuts on him. I can't touch this dog, man. I've been working on him for a year. He's a plot hound. I got him from a gentleman a year ago, and he's papered and all, but I'm not saying the guy was mean to the dog. That's not what I'm saying. I don't believe he was. But this dog, I mean, is super, super, super skittish. Like, I don't even try to yell around him, like, giving him his food. He won't come up and get that food until you get out of the area. And, like, he's going to run from you. I can't ever grab him. So when I hunt him, everybody who's with me has to get out of the boat. I have to let a female in the boat, and he'll jump in. And then he's in the boat. He's good to go. Have you ever had those problems?
Yeah, I've had it, and I had a little July cross dog that I tried one time, and man, that dog was so skittish, you couldn't do nothing with it. I mean, the exact same thing you're saying. And I got my kids to mess with it, and it got to where it come around. I've also heard, and I know it works, I've seen it done before, a female, like a woman, mess with the dog. Hell, Trace has had dogs that he couldn't catch, but Amber could walk outside and grab the dog up. No problem.
Yeah, I mean, same here. You know, my wife usually has to go. But, I mean, I get what you're saying on that. You know, we tried bringing him in the house. Man, we let him stay in the house for a long time. And, yeah, he would get, like, the house, he was like, oh, shit, I really don't have anywhere to go, so I'm just going to let you touch me. But once he was outside again, man, it would, I mean, he's still the same way, you know, and I'm scared to hunt him because he goes and bays hogs and stuff, but it's just that one time, you know, if he don't come back. I mean, how we had to catch him the last time he got out, I don't know if you know Derek Hussey, but him and I we're neighbors, and his wife called my wife and said, hey, well, we're not neighbors. He lives down the road. We live out in the country. And his wife called and said, hey, you got a dog loose. And she's like, no, we can't catch him, you know. So what we ended up doing is we had to wait for a bitch. And once she come into season, I put her in my round pen. I had to get the pig out, put her in the round pen, and then I left the round pen open. So he went to go into the round pen, and then I closed the round pen, and I was able to go in there. And I couldn't even throw a rope far enough. Like,
that's some weed eater string on it.
I know, that's what I fucking need to do, so he gets all tangled up and shit, something.
That weed eater string, it won't tangle up, but you tie about 50 foot on it, you can get
you get close enough to
grab the end of that weed eater string.
Yeah. So I personally have never used it in the wood. How does that work? I mean, can you use it while you're hunting or no?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, well, it won't tangle up on nothing, which I've never had it tangled up, and I ain't heard of nobody else having it tangled up, so, I mean, don't take my word that it won't, but I've never had any issues with it.
Damn.
But, yeah, you can hunt with it. It don't affect them. I mean, it works.
And it doesn't stay all coiled up, like, you know what I mean? It don't stay like it is in the package.
After you have it off, so I mean, it ain't going to drag like a rope. It'll stay kind of kinked up a little bit. You just got to add you a little extra on there to make up for that, you know?
Shit, see? Everybody learn.
And to me, on the skittish part of the dog, after catching off that weed eater string so much, it's like they realize that when you do catch them, they're not in trouble. You ain't going to beat on them or hurt them or anything like that. And to me, it helps with them. You know, it helps calm them down a little bit.
Huh. I like that idea. See, I didn't know that. I guess I'm going to go ahead and have to try that. I'm going to be honest with you, though. I ain't going to take him to the woods and try it that way. I'm going to let him run around the house for a little bit. I don't want him getting bait up out there in a thicket or something. He gets all tangled up and gets cut down.
No, I've never had no issues with it on getting tangled up. That's why they say use weed eater string, I guess. I don't know.
Huh. Shit, that's pretty cool. I like to hear that. Yeah, I guess I'm going to have to try it. Now, so we talked about skittish a little bit. Let's talk about your puppy process. You know, we talked about that a little bit. Now, when are you deciding, so you're starting out puppies, when are you going to go ahead and decide, hey, this is a colt? What age frame, and kind of explain your process of what your thoughts are in it.
Man, I used to be one of the early ones. If it's 6 months old and it don't want nothing to do with a hog, it ain't staying. But the best dog that I've ever owned, he was probably a year and a half old before it just clicked. He would bay a little bit. He would not still, all the way up till he got killed whenever he was 5, he still would not bay a hog in a pen. I could put him in a pen with a hog and he would not worry about it. Wouldn't bark, wouldn't do nothing. But after him is whenever I'll give a dog till, Max is 2 years old, and I'll go ahead and get rid of it. But also, I don't own a bunch of dogs. I don't run through a bunch of dogs. You can ask Kenneth. As long as he's known me, I've had the same 2 dogs. And I've had one other dog. I'll filter a puppy in, one at a time, which the way I work, I don't have the time to hunt like you do or like Kenneth and them do because, I travel.
Yeah.
So, I don't want a whole bunch of dogs sitting at the house wasting away. But 2 years old, that's the max. And which it has to show some interest, at least a little bit. It can't just all the way up to 2 years old not want to do nothing.
Yeah.
But 2 years old, it's got to meet all of everything up to my standards that I want.
Yeah. No, I got you. I do. So, how many heads you got?
I got 2 cur dogs and a bulldog. And that's about all. 3 cur dogs about max.
Damn, that's what I need to get down to.
Man, which don't get me wrong, I've had it where I had 8 or 9 dogs. But it's just easier with like I said, I don't have 15, 16 head of dogs or whatever because I don't have the time to hunt all of them dogs. I barely got the time to hunt my 2 cur dogs and my bulldog.
Yeah.
And
no,
which
I know what you're saying.
Like I said, I just got rid of a young dog that I had. But that's about my max. Now, if say that young dog turned out, I would have started another puppy. And then if it turned out, who knows, I might would have made it all the way up to the big numbers, but I keep my pack slim.
Yeah. No, I got you. So, what, do you hunt through the summer at all?
Oh, yeah. I do most of my hunting during the summer. Okay.
And do you have any problems, with overheating or anything like that? Or what precautions do you take in that?
Man, on the overheating side of it, I hunt strictly at night during the summertime. I do not hunt during the daytime. One, because my dogs don't stay in the condition enough to hunt during the summertime. But I've heard that salt helps, but you got to keep the bucket full. But I'm not going to sit here and tell you I do anything special because I don't hunt that hard during the summertime, and I hunt at night.
Yeah. And have you noticed the difference? Like, how did you start your dogs out then? Did you start them out at night or in the day?
It's a mixture of both. All year long, I hunt day and night. But I have noticed if you have dogs that you hunt during the daytime and you roll them over to night, it is a little bit different for them until they get used to it.
Okay,
now,
yeah.
I've had dogs that I hunted at night and then roll them into the daytime. Because summertime, I hunt strictly nighttime.
Yeah.
Roll them into the daytime, come, after deer season, February, whatever. And it's like they don't miss a beat. They know how to do it at night. Daytime's like, damn, I can see.
See, that's what I always wondered. And now, now that we're talking about it, it kind of makes sense. But so when I was doing research trying to catch hogs, I did it, of course, day and night. I was always trying. Well, then research tells you, hogs are nocturnal, blah, 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 blah. Well, I was putting out cameras and hogs are moving during the day. And I was like, man, that fucking research shit ain't true, I wasn't, I didn't have enough intelligence in it. And so, I kept trying. Well, it wasn't happening. Well, finally, that's when they started catching hogs was at night. And I was doing pretty good at night. I was like, well, shit, it's going to make it a lot easier when I start hunting during the day, And I noticed I just started hunting them at night religiously, like a lot. And not getting off till 5 o'clock or whatever. It was dark already in the winter, so You just go out, hunt real quick, and then go home. And then when days come around, it seemed like they hunted a lot better during the day. Like, they just knew immediately what to do better than they did at night.
Yeah, I mean, I firmly believe that. But day to night, it's different. Like a buddy of mine, Cameron Seal, he's got dogs, and he swears they don't hunt at night. I'd hate to see what they do during the daytime because I think them baby dogs hunt good at night. I mean, but he's like, he don't talk up on his dogs or whatever. He's humble about it.
Yeah.
But he swears they don't hunt at night, but what I've seen, they'll hunt. I mean...
Well, see, my real good buddy that I talk about, the ghost guy that won't, he ain't ever going to let me say his name. And finally, I know you're listening to this podcast too, by the way. Tomorrow at 5 o'clock, your boat better be ready, because I ain't sitting around dicking around. We got to get on the water. But, he swore up and down his dog. Man, I want to talk about this real quick. You might have a buddy that does the same shit. My buddy has told me, go hunt with other people, go hunt with other people, go hunt with other people. And this will get into the night shit too. And I did. I went and hunted with, I have hunted in the 2 years I've been hunting, I'm not exaggerating, at least 100 people. And I mean, that's on the low side. And, he tells me, man, there's better dogs out there than this dog and this dog. Because he's got a couple of dogs that I freaking worship, And I'm like, dude, he tells me to go hunt with people, so I start hunting with other people that, I'm not talking bad about their dogs by any means. I'm not. Oh, wow. I'm just saying they're not the level of his two dogs. They're just not. And he swears up and down, he's like, man, they're not good. He's like, these are like 4 out of 10s on my scale. So I asked him, I was like, man, what would you say my newt dog is? That motherfucker humbled the shit out of me. He said, you want me to be honest, Alan? I said, yep. He said he's like a 2, if that. I'm like, oh fuck, dude. And, I got people that go on hunts, and I'm not the one talking them up. Like, my wife would be like, yep, that's my dog, because people will be like, gosh, damn, that dog is good. And I'll go tell him, and he's like, man, not really. He's like, and he'll start naming people, that you need to go hunt with this guy. This guy knows this guy knows that. And man, one of his buddies come and hunted with us, and that's where I'm getting at the night and day stuff. And my buddy just gave him his best dog. Just said, here. He's like, this guy got me going. He's like, so he can have anything on my yard. He helped me out when I was when I wanted to get into this. Dude, the guy was... That's
how it's supposed to be.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I agree. Like, right now, if my buddy said, hey, I need something, I'd be like, all right, it fucking sucks, but here. I would give up something. But, it was a great time, man. I went and hunted with both of them, and the guy was talking to me, man. He had so much knowledge, but he was so humble. He acted like he didn't know shit. He's asking me questions and stuff, and then my other buddy was looking at me like just smiling. He's like, he fucking knows more shit than both of us put together. And the guy was like, no, I really don't anymore. He's like, I've been out the game for a while. Just a great guy. And man, you know how I knew he was a true hog hunter? Out of all the years he's been running dogs and all this shit, and he's got this jam up dog by his feet. When them dogs hit the woods, he hit them right behind them. He was just walking. He fucking walked all over the country. Just walk. We're like, where the fuck is he? His handheld wasn't even working worth a shit. He's swimming. It was a good guy. But with that being said, that my buddy's dog that I talk about that's real good, we was hunting one time. He said, hey, it's about to be dark. He said, they're baying that pig. You see it? And he's a dick to me, man, I swear. Well, I love the dude. I do. But he makes me listen to fucking bays. He's like, no, just leave him alone and listen. Just listen. He's like, isn't that gorgeous? And, like, we'll just sit there and listen to him bay. And he's like, we're not going in there yet. Just listen to him. He's like, it's good for him. And they'll be baying. He said, all right, see it's about to get dark? I said, yep. He says, well, guess what? They're going to come back to the boat. And I was like, what? He's like, yep, once that dark hits, them dogs are coming back to the boat. I'm like, what the fuck? Sure shit. Dark hit, the dogs come walking out. And he'll just go into a bay. They'll be bayed up, and he knows it frustrates the shit out of me. He does it on purpose. We'll go into a bay, and them dogs will be bayed up. And I can't drop mine with his shit anymore, really. Nope, keep them in here. I'm going to drop him. And so he's more or less saying, hey, you've got it figured out. You need to keep going your own route. You're not going to, I get it. But he'll drop that dog, man, and I'm telling you, that motherfucker will go find a hog every single time. He is just, his main lead dog is just astronomical. But he'll fuck with me, like I said. He'll just make me sit there and listen to a bay for an hour and a half, and then he'll walk in there and, all right, get out of it. Like, hey, we got a catch dog we could use. No, come on, y'all, get out of that hog. Get off it. And they'll just come walking right to him.
Yeah, I mean, that's how that Grizz dog was that Kenneth had. I mean, that dog was phenomenal. Well, I only got to see him hunt one time, but hands down, that's probably one of the best ones I walked behind.
Gosh, and I bet Kenneth probably say that dog wasn't worth a shit, huh?
He's all right.
That's what he says, for real?
Oh, yeah. Well, he'll tell you he's a good dog. He's a decent dog, but he ain't the best he's had.
See, that's what my buddy says, dude. He says the best he's ever fed was a plot hound that died under a year and a half. I don't even think he hit 2 years old. He might have been. And it was at a showtime in Auburn. And he said that, he's like, I only had to take one dog to do everything. He's like, I took that plot out and fucking it would catch every hog, or not every hog, but it would catch a hog every time. And it would catch it. He said it would bay and then catch, and he'd walk out there, call it, shoot it, whatever he had to do, and dog come off. And he said he didn't run a vest or a cut collar on him. He said he'd come back with a little poke in his chest. I think it was in his chest. And he said he ran all the way back to the boat and over a mile away. And he said he died on the front of the boat. I was like, wow. Gosh, damn, man. And he said that's the best dog he ever fed. And he's had fucking dogs that were 9, 10 years old that I would, in my opinion, think are jam-up dogs. But what I was getting at on that, I got off top. I got way out of it. I wanted to cover that, though. But he, he taught me a lot there. In other words, like, the telling me to go hunt with other people. There's for a while, he wouldn't hunt with me. I'd call him all the time. I'd be like, hey, man, you want to go hunt? You want to? Ah, man, I'm busy or whatever. I was like, gosh, damn. Like, I love hunting with them because we bullshit and we have good conversation while we're hunting. We're not just hunting, Yeah. And that's what I wanted to mention, guys out there, broaden your horizon, go hunt with other people, and you ain't got to talk shit on other people's dogs. I don't do it. There is people, like I said, that commented yesterday, said, blast them or whatever they said. I'm not going to. I had a mutual agreement meeting up with them, but you know what I want to say, Colby? I guarantee if the roles were reversed and my dogs did not do what I say they do on this podcast or what I say they do on social media, I promise you, Colby, if the roles were reversed and they did shit, everybody would be hearing about how shitty they are. But what's crazy, nobody hears about how good and that's fine. You don't have to talk about my dogs. That's not what I'm asking you to do. But you would look like a fool having to go to these big name people saying, yeah, man, his fucking dogs actually did it. Because you're too worried about your character and how you're going to be looked at instead of like just understanding that, hey, he fucking is right about how his dogs do. I'm not saying they're the best. I'm not. You know what I mean? But that's what I'm telling everybody. Broaden your horizon. But have you ever ran into anything like that where, you've went and hunted with some people and like their dogs were just freaking outrageously good and they're like, nah, man, you got to check out so-and-so's dogs, and you went and they really weren't that good?
I've hunted with them before. Like that, I'm trying to think. I want to say Kenneth done it. He was talking about some old man, maybe the one got him started or something. Don't give me the line about it, but he's so humble about how his dogs are. And if you ever look up the definition of a dog man in the dictionary, Kenneth and T-Kill is right next to it. They got it figured out.
Yeah.
But Dawson, this podcast ain't even hit yet, but Dawson can probably hear it with them satellites he's got on the side of his head already whenever I say this. But he always checks me telling me that whenever I go hunt with him, I don't even turn my dogs loose. And which I don't. If I can avoid it, I'm not. Why would I want to get embarrassed like that?
God.
Because they got sure enough dogs. If you ever get a chance, you need to go hunt with them. It's pretty.
Yeah, I am. I was supposed to. It was the week of the kids being born. Oh yeah, or of my son being born. But no, I'm for sure hunting with them. For sure in January, like 2 hunts in January actually. But yeah, I mean, I really am looking forward to it because I hear a lot of positivity out of them too, and I mean, believe it or not, I know all the bullshit out there, whatever, but a lot of positivity come from yourself, Trace, Dawson, and like Dawson's going to be on the podcast here in a week or so. And, he said, nobody wants to hear from me. It's like, believe it or not, people do want to hear from y'all. I know as much as people think nobody wants to, there's people out there that really want to hear, your story and shit you can share. So, them guys, man, and Tequila and Kenneth, man, gosh damn, man, they've been a huge support structure for me. Of course, Boars and Broads, but like,
I'm surprised you ain't heard about the weed eater trick, being as big of a follower of Boars and Broads as you are.
Shit, yeah, no, I ain't. I really ain't. I mean, I do. I try to keep up. I don't know if you heard the Boars and Broads story, but man, I was like nervous of them. They had so many followers and shit. I was like, look, I'm not going to mess with these people. And Ryan Rankin, man, was just Carter was out of country, so he really didn't reach. He had his own stuff going on, but Ryan Rankin was very welcoming and just absolutely professional as hell. And Kenneth, man, he was great. I mean, he's like just a great man. Hey, what can we do to help you out? And he's like, I like what you're doing. And man, that meant a lot coming from somebody like that, And then I didn't really realize it. And this is how shitty of a person I am, because I did a little bit of research on Kenneth and Tequila, but not enough. Because when people are like, yeah, those are some real guys, and I'm sitting here, I'm like, yeah, I knew they were good people and shit, but I didn't know they were like that good of people. They go out of their way to help everybody, all sorts of shit,
Before the first time I ever hunted with him, I might have said 2 or 3 words to Kenneth. I want to say it was in person. I never really spoke to him. I knew of him, and we text back and forth on Snapchat and stuff.
Yeah.
And he invited me to come hunt with him one day, so I drove up there. It's right at 3 hours. I drove up there that morning and went and met him, and we hit it off. And I've been hunting with him twice. And if it wasn't so far of a drive, I'd hunt with him every weekend.
Well, shit, tell me a story. Tell me y'all's funniest story. Dude, I know it's got to be a good one. And please tell me Dawson was there.
Oh, Dawson was there. He was with his dad, TQ, whenever this happened. It was me, Kenneth. We all separated, and I was with Kenneth and Zach, and I can't remember who else was with us. But we went to a spot. It was our last. I want to say it was our last morning there where we was hunting at, and we found a track on the side of the road. I seen it, and I told him to come back, and Kenneth was like, "Hell, you think they'll take it?" I said, "I don't know. He might." So I turned my dog loose, and Zach turned his loose. I want to say it was only 2 dogs on the ground. I turned my male dog loose, and Zach turned his little, I think that's his name, Zach, turned his little Kimmer dog loose. Well, they hit that track, went to the edge of the woods, and that little Kimmer dog opened up, and they went like 150 yards and bayed. For a split second, it broke and run. And there was a boundary road, or not a boundary road, but it was the boundary for them, because if it went past that, it was bad. Well, that hog crossed that road and went over there. And I want to say that Kenneth had a dog, or I don't know. That they crossed that road and we went up there, and they was talking about how bad that was in there. We need to get our dogs back. Well, I was letting mine run it. Well, they ran.
Hold on. Stop. Sorry, one sec. Bad as in what? Are we talking thick? Worried about,
I didn't know. They didn't say.
Oh, okay.
They kept talking about a river.
Oh, okay.
Well, they wasn't to the river yet, so I wasn't worried about it. They went in there, and they never slowed down, never did nothing. And we drove down there. They sat down and bait again. We drove down this fire lane. Well, Kenneth dumped out some dogs, sent them the opposite direction. He wasn't sending them there. He wouldn't send a dog in there. Well, they hung up in there, and I couldn't figure out why they was hung up. I was hooping. Zach was hooping. Well, they wouldn't even go in there. They sent me and Zach in there. They went on about their business, which Kenneth's dogs, they ended up getting over there and getting bayed. Me and Zach walked off in there, and I know why, because the backwater was unreal. I had on my hip boots, and me and Zach tried going across through that backwater, and it was going over the top of my hip boots. So the dogs were swimming.
Yeah.
We walked all the way up to where the dogs went through, and I was following their track, and I was going over the top of my hip boots.
Oh shit!
And on the way in there, I was skirting the edge of that backwater, and I about had a heart attack because I seen a snake, a water moccasin. I'm deathly afraid of snakes.
Me too. Me too.
Whenever I jumped in midair where I was headed, I seen another one laying on the on a log. Well, I just knew I was dead there. Luckily, I didn't. Well, I killed both the snakes, and Zach's dog, she ended up coming out somehow, and we picked her up. Well, I went back in there. They all had to leave. They all left or whatever. We pulled back up to camp. Kenneth's dogs had a group of hogs made by the camp. Well, they asked if they wanted to, if I needed help. I told them no, so I drove back in there, and I waded through backwater all the way in there and got my dog because he would not come out. And that's why nobody would go over there, because of the backwater. And I found out why. Because it was bad.
What exactly is the backwater? I guess I'm not familiar with what you're referring to.
The river was out of the banks, and the water backed up.
Oh.
Yeah, and it was high.
Oh, shit. Okay. And you probably filled up and you was fucking sinking down.
No, it wasn't bad ground under it.
Oh, it wasn't?
Because, it's out of the... normally it's out of water or whatever,
Yeah.
But it had backed up. I stayed out of the water for the most part till I got about 100 yards from him. And I could see him standing on the other side of this water, and he would not come to me. Well, I wanted to fry him, but I was scared he was going to go the opposite direction. So I waded across the water, grabbed him. We made it across the water, and he swam out and followed me the whole way out. He started winding, trying to go to up more hogs. I loaded him up and we left.
God damn. That's...
the
fucking snakes, man. So they set you up and they pretty much said, fuck you, is what I'm hearing.
I ain't gonna say they said that, but they knew better than to go in there because they already knew what it was.
Dude, they knew you was all right, though. I like that shit.
T-Kill wouldn't even go to that side. He stayed on the other side. And whenever Kenneth told T-Kill we was going over there, he said, good luck, I'm pretty positive. That's exactly what he said.
Shit, man. So how do they hunt? Out of curiosity, what do I need to be expecting? I mean, like...
Any way that you want to hunt. Their dogs do it all.
Okay. I mean, I didn't know if we're rigging, if we're free casting, if we're finding sign casting, if we're...
Now, I'll say for the most part, they free cast. They'll send them through a bottom or whatever, and they get gone and they get bait.
Is this piney woods or what is it?
No, it's a mixture, I guess. Where we was at, it was a mixture of piney woods, or where the backwater was, it was a bottom. The first time I went hunting with them, it was around like cornfields and stuff.
Okay.
And it had bottoms in it. It had like CRP kind of stuff.
Yeah. Had
some short pines. Okay. But for the most part, it's pretty open woods. It ain't too bad. But there is some spots that it is pretty rough. But I guess for the most part, they free cast.
Damn.
If they know hogs is in a block or whatever, or they see some rooting on the side of the road, they'll just send the dogs up through the block.
Yeah. Well, but what's your personal favorite hunting story? Or not favorite, sorry, funniest? I mean, would that be it, or do you have another good funny one?
No, man. One of the ones I remember a lot was me, a cousin of mine, and a couple of his buddies, which I'm buddies with them too. We all went hunting. They ain't hog hunters; they just like going. We went one night and we turned loose on a good track, and it was a bar hog. He was a white hog.
Oh shit!
I'd been after him for a while. So we cut the track, and Cody dog that I had. We'll talk about him later on whenever we talk about.
Yeah.
My most favorite dog I've ever owned. But we turned loose on that track, and he went there. He jumped him, found him, bayed for a little bit. He broke and run. He ran and ran and ran. Well, finally he stopped and bayed, and it was cold. It was December. I bet it was 20-something degrees. And I don't know what it was about that dog in December and water. He put me in the middle of a creek, the same creek, every time. Well, and he wasn't a rough dog, but he had been baying for a while before we got to him. And whenever we got there, he seen me, and you could tell he was tired. They was in the middle of the creek, swimming. He just reached up there, and they floated up. The current was kind of bad, floated up to a log, and Teddy was on one side, and Hog was on the other side. He just reached up there and grabbed a hold of an ear, and both of them just went limp. Oh. They was holding each other up. Like, come get us, we're done.
Gosh damn.
Well, I stripped down on my underwear. I went out there and got him. And my cousin, he came out there with me. Well, I pulled Cody off of him because he had no manners, wasn't obedient, he didn't listen. The only thing I could make him do was call a dog back. That was the only thing he done that I told him to do. Well, I pulled him off, I grabbed the hog, and I pulled him up on that log. I don't know why I didn't drown the hog, but I pulled my knife out and I stuck him. And it looked like somebody dumped a 18-wheeler of blood in that creek after I stuck him. I hit it just right, I guess. He went to pumping blood. My cousin was sitting there. He said, man, I ain't ever seen a blood trail like that. And you could shine down the creek and see it.
Gosh dang.
Well, I stood up on that log and went to pull him up. Whenever I did, my feet slipped, and that snag caught right there in between the business end and the other business end and ripped my underwear smooth off of me. So now I'm underwearless. I had to swim back across the creek naked and got up there. And I have a picture of it where we took a picture with the hog, but I was naked.
God.
But I had the hog cover my stuff up, you know.
Dude, that's gotta. I probably can't make it your cover photo, can I?
Oh no. Well, no, I do have one.
That's appropriate enough.
That is on that same hog where I put. We made it back to my truck, and I put some underwear on, and it's just I got underwear and a light on.
God damn! I wish I was there for some shit like that. That is fucking funny. Gosh damn. That's hilarious. Well, what is your now? You know, we talked about your funniest ones and whatnot. Oh, actually, you mentioned something in there that I wanted to ask you about, and I can't even remember what it was now. Son of a bitch. Oh, you said, so when you walked in there, your dog looked at you like, hey, I'm done. Did that dog ever potentially come out off the bay?
No.
Okay.
He never would.
Well, I gotta admit,
I don't know about coming off the bay because he could be off the bay, but he bayed so far back that I've watched hogs where he's sitting there baying, and I walk in there, that hog will slip out the back, and he'll stand there for a second, still baying, then like, oh shit, and then break and run because he stood so far back, like if it was in a treetop or something. I never got that dog cut his entire life until I got him killed.
They say it's the ones you don't think.
And that's the only dog, and knock on wood, not counting bulldogs. We ain't going to talk about bulldogs and how many I've lost. But as far as cur dogs, that is the only dog that I've ever lost.
Damn.
And the reason I lost him, it was my fault that I lost him. Because I tried doing everything myself whenever it was worse than what I thought it was. I should have brought him to the vet.
I don't know, man. I'm telling you, I don't know about them vets. I have saved double punctured lungs myself, and I've taken a dog in for a simple tendon tear, and that dog passed away.
He made it through.
Oh, he had an infection?
I started catching hogs. I started catching hogs with him again. He died of an infection.
Yeah. And
he had a broke rib that punctured a lung that I didn't know about because I just sewed him up.
Yeah, yeah.
And he got an infection of the guts, what they called it, because I ended up bringing him to the vet. Because he just wasn't acting right. I mean, he wasn't acting like he's fixing to die or nothing. I brought him to the vet, and they'd done all this test, cost me an arm and a leg. And he had a punctured lung from his broke rib that was still in his lung. You never would have known. I caught hogs with him after that. No big hogs or nothing, but I caught hogs with him after that, and he had infection because it cut his intestine. I sewed his intestine back together.
Oh, fuck. Did you use non-absorbable?
It was dissolvable.
Oh, it was?
It was dissolvable.
Damn,
stitches.
and he still fucking got one?
Yeah, I didn't clean it good enough, I guess. I don't know. That that's on me. I didn't know what I was doing. It's the first time I dealt with something like that. I didn't call nobody, ask no questions. I just done it myself.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he made it through. And about 3 months later, 2 weeks after that, I was catching hogs with him again. About 3 months later, he just started acting kind of weird, Wasn't acting himself.
Yeah.
Not like he's fixing to die or sick. He was still eating. He was still drinking water. He was still normal, but he just wasn't acting himself. So I brought him to the vet. Actually, my dad brought him to the vet. I was on a job. But my dad brought him to the vet and brought him back, put him on the chain. They told him what's wrong, put him on the chain, gave him some medicine and stuff. He walked inside, filled all the syringes up, done what he had to do with the medicine, walked back outside, he was dead.
God damn it.
He said nothing changed. From the time he got him out the truck, he jumped out the truck, walked over there, wagging his tail, got on the chain, he snapped him, walked back inside. Whenever he walked back inside or outside, he's laid down in his doghouse dead.
Damn, man. That sucks. See, I haven't ever, I can say when unfortunately I've had dogs pass, I just put them in the bed with me, and my wife and I have woke up with a bad looking scene when they didn't make it, and it's crazy, dude. I'm telling you, it'll fuck you up a little bit though. But them dogs ain't dumb, man. They come. My male plot. He come and laid with me, like he was staying, avoiding, and I kept trying to get him to lay with me because I was like, man, he's gonna make it. And then the night he jumped into bed, he literally jumped up, tried getting into the bed, and just it was a bad deal. And I cried, man. I was burying him at 2 a.m. and I was bawling like a little bitch. I ain't even gonna sit here and act like I wasn't.
My dad called me. I was in the middle of the unit when he called me. I left work. Everybody thought somebody in the family died because I was crying in the unit. I left work and went home, but it was my dog.
Yeah, see, people and all these wannabe hard at, man. I can't respect a dog, man, if they can sit there and watch a dog pass for doing something you love, and they don't really give a shit. I don't respect a lot. There's a lot of people like I don't remove them from my social media because they're a hater. They don't share my stuff. None of that. When I notice you're shitty to dogs, or just even shitty person in general, I just don't even want to see your stuff. Like, I don't even want to see you. Like, it's not. I could give a shit less if you listen to me, if you share any of my stuff, anything. I don't want you to. I don't want you to affiliate yourself with me at all if you're like that. So yeah, for you saying that, man, that's respect, because when I tell people, they're like, well, you're going to lose them. I said, I don't fucking like that part. I tell people, they're like, man, you got on a good one, it fucked up your dogs or whatever. I'm like, yeah, I would rather never catch a big hog again and my dogs never get hurt than what happens, catching a big hog and they actually get injured. But at the same time, Colby, we got to cover, these dogs do what they love. And majority of these dogs are getting a second chance at life. Because if you take one of my hounds off my yard and you put it in some $9 million mansion in freaking Hollywood, it is going to be a miserable ass dog. It's going to be miserable. It's going to end up fat and dying at like 9 years old because it's overfed. And not only that, there's not enough room for them hounds to actually go out. They're bred to do that. Those rich, fancy families are ruining bloodlines left and right because they take these working bloodlines and they want them as a pet, and they get them as a pet, and that's not what their purpose was. The human domesticated the dog for, of course, nobody knows this for a fact, but for hunting would be my assumption and a lot of others' assumptions. Not for it to sit on your couch and be your buddy, which you can have those. I'm not saying you can't, but that's the toy class. My lab, even my hog dogs, I treat great. But you know what I mean, man? I think that, I don't know. I went off on another ramble, but you get what I'm saying?
I got you.
Dude, I love my fucking dogs. I do. And, I would do anything for them. But hey, I do got a question for you. I was... Earlier you said, he walked up, he was wore out, whatever the case may be. But you said you don't think he come out of it. Have you ever had a dog? So I'm going to be honest, my Kate dog, she's been doing great. And I don't know if it's because she was coming up into heat or what, but 3 weeks ago on Thursday night, I went hunting. Not last weekend. 2 weeks ago, sorry, on Thursday night, I went hunting. And they bait a hog. And man, I was like 120 yards from the bay, and she come running straight to me. Like, she just left the whole bay. And she's like one of my best bait, like legitimate bay dogs. Like, she'll sit in there and hold a bay real good and keep that hog tight and nice and close. And I don't know, because now she's in heat, but I don't know, do you think that potentially played a factor in it, or?
Man, it could have. I mean, I'm not going to say it did or it didn't, but I mean, it could have, because I mean, they do act different whenever they're in heat. I've never had the issue. Typically, which you've seen the hog, but typically whenever mine do that, they trash him. Mine love armadillos and skunks. I've had them but catch coons on the ground, catch possums. I mean, trashy dog kennels that's for a reason.
Yeah.
They love an armadillo.
Yeah.
But typically when mine do it, they're doing something they ain't supposed to be doing. Now, I have had my male dog do it. He bait a big group of hogs. There's a guy lives down the road from me, and occasionally I'll go back there because he's got hay fields and the hogs rooted up, and them hogs have lived back there for years. In the same place, you could always go in there and catch hogs where they bedded up at. And the guy that has pastures next to him, he's got feed troughs out for his cows, so they go up there and eat them. Well, I made a big group of hogs, and they walked them out in the middle of that field. Well, when he seen me, he quit. Completely shut down. Walked to me, the hogs went on across the field. I tried sending you back. He wanted nothing to do with it. My Gyp, she was at the house. She was cut down, so I didn't have her. Well, my buddy, Tanner Simpson, he's got a dog. His name's Oakdale. It's a plot dog, and the dog's good. He's a loner dog, but he is good. Well, Oakdale finally got in there, and he paid no attention to me. He went yonder. And whenever he broke past us, my male dog went with him, and they sat down. They had two separate bays. They eventually got together. It was a good boar hog, and neither one of us had a bulldog at that time because mine had just freshly got killed, and he hadn't had one in a little while. But we ended up not catching it. Dogs got cut. Nothing bad, but dogs got cut, and it went on about its way. But yeah, he walked straight out to me. The hogs were still 40 yards in front of us.
Damn, man.
Didn't want nothing to do with it. I couldn't send him back on it.
Do you know why? Like, so that's what I'm saying. Like, my newt dog held the bay. Like, he still held it, but I'm hearing your story, so I'm asking you, do you know why yours did it? Because you ended up saying, well, it could have been trashing or something, but it was a hog. That's why I'm asking you. Do you know?
It was probably 20 head of hogs, any size you wanted, not counting pigs. So there's probably, if you counted pigs, there's probably 50 head. But I don't know. And I asked my uncle. He's an old school, big time hog hunter. I mean, not anymore. He ain't as big as he used to be because he's getting up in age or whatever. But he comes and hunts with us a little bit here and there. But he said it was because he's by himself and it was a group of hogs. Well, I've never had that issue before.
Well, see,
so
I don't know, man. That don't seem right because I'm thinking I'm going to blame it on being in heat, but I wanted to ask you that.
I wouldn't be surprised if that's what it was. My Gyp, man, she's like a woman. I ain't gonna lie. You never know what she's fixing to do. Some days she's the best dog you ever seen, and some days she just don't give a damn.
I got a fucking yellow dog like that right now. I don't know what her deal is. She's pissing me off. She's my favorite fucking dog, but she's she's pissing me off is what she's doing. But gosh damn it, she just did it again for me this weekend. I'm telling you, man, you're probably talking about the same thing with your Gyp. My fucking, she just come off puppies though 2 days ago, so I got to be honest. But man, it's like, she caught 2 hogs on Friday, but altogether we caught 5 on Friday, and she was only a part of 2 of them. Now, Saturday, she didn't want to do shit. I cut her off the lead, and she laid in the front of my boat. Like, usually she'll go explore a little bit, like, as in 100, 200 yards. And, I mean, if there's a hog 100, 200 yards, of course she's freaking out. She's going to get it. But it was like she knew my newt dog was going to fucking do it, and she was being lazy, and I know everybody, well, you got to take her out and make her do it. No, that bitch knows that I baby her. She knows it. And, you know, she went and did the damn thing again, and I'm like, I just can't do nothing but thank her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even though as frustrating as it sounds, at the same time, it's very rewarding. Because she's a fucking cunt, dude. I'm telling you, like, there'll be a good bay going, and I'll try to send puppies into it. Don't do that. She is a bitch. She won't even acknowledge the puppies or the bay anymore. She'll go out, and every single time I drop puppies into one, she'll leave and go find another hog. I mean, literally find another hog in a matter of, like, just like relaying perfect. But if she knows the bay's being held good, I'm telling you, she'll get it shut down. The bay, you know, if she ends up leading the race, because sometimes she does, she's a lot faster. If she gets up there, she'll get it shut down. You know, if Newt gets there last, or the next dog there, or if Honey or one of them gets there, she leaves. She don't give a fuck to sit there, and she'll go back to where the exact spot I dropped her. And and every time she's right. They hold the bay. I've watched a hog break 3 times, and she went and stopped it each time. And then the last time when we finally caught it, she was gone before we got there. I mean, she's weird, but she fucking works.
Both of my dogs is weird. My male dog does it too. And if people could hunt with me by myself, I don't know if that makes sense or not.
No, it does. It does. I know exactly what you're saying.
By myself, I'd have something, because if I'm by myself, I catch hogs. I catch the fuck out of hogs by myself. But if somebody goes with me, they won't do nothing. They won't honor another dog. Dogs can be bayed 100 yards from us, and neither one of them will go in there.
Huh.
I don't know. I went hunting with some guys from around the house here, the Edelmans, and they wanted to hunt with my dogs. They'd heard about them, which they know the guy that I got them from, whatever. They wanted me to come hunt with them, which they used to hunt my dad back in the day. They was real good buddies or whatever. Well, so I went hunt with them, and I tried. I dumped my dogs. They wouldn't do nothing. Well, their dogs ended up jumping a hog, getting it going, and I would try to send. They'd go in there and bay. I'd try to send my jip to them, because my male dog, he will not go to another dog. It don't matter who it is. He's not going.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
I would try to send my jip in there. She didn't want nothing to do with it. And I tried all day. Finally, about 1 o'clock, they put this hog across the road, and I was able to get up there, and I dropped my male dog, and he hit it. And he ran in there, and she was walking beside me. It was me, my dad, and the guy that I was with. I ain't going to say his name, because I don't know if he wants me to or not.
No,
but we was walking down the road. As soon as my male dog opened up, she left like a missile straight to him. Got ahead of him. Went and stopped the hog. The hog broke and rolled, everything got there. Well, everything left on that, and she went. I think what it was whenever she stopped, I ain't going to say it was that hog, but they got into a group of them, because she ended up stopping and catching a pig. And that was the only hog we caught that day.
Huh.
And that guy, he could not believe that I'd been trying to send her all day. They looked like shit that whole day, so, I mean, but I was trying to send her to the dog's barking, she wouldn't go. But as soon as my male dog opened up, she left like a missile. I hunt them two together all the time. You'll never catch me without the other one unless one of them's cut down.
Man, I know. Shit, I know what you're saying. I do. I when I first got into it, you know, I thought I had fucking shit, and I was like, you know, I got dogs, and man, one of the most welcoming people. I know he don't care if I say his name, but it's Rusey. He's got some fucking jam up yellow dogs down here. And he stays off posting his hogs, but I promise you that guy, he went out and I think caught 15 on Saturday and like 8 on Friday. I don't remember, just some crazy numbers. He's always catching hogs, but he's
quiet. We ain't got hogs like that here.
Yeah, I mean, he admits where he goes is real easy to hunt. He doesn't lie. He's like, there's no big ones, but it's just easier. And I mean, he's a good dude. So I was happy as shit. You know, I call him on Friday. I'm like, bro, I caught 5, because where I was hunting, it's rare for, you know, I'm lucky if I catch 2. Usually I'll catch 1, but a whole day's worth of hunting, 2 is a good number. And I caught 5, and I was only hunting I was done by like 7, 8 at night. I don't know. It wasn't too late. And I caught 5 hogs. I was like, gosh, damn, that blew my mind. So I reached out to him, and he's like, oh, well, I caught 8 today, like, in a few hours. I'm like, fucking dick. You know, but he's got some good dogs, and I went with him one time, and I didn't take Newt or anything, because his rule is if you're going to if you have a vest on your dog, don't hunt it with his, because his ain't rough. He don't want your dog to do something stupid and get his fucked up, which I understand. You know, he does have the better dogs in the situation. He's got better dogs than me. I know that. And, so he was great about it, man. Just very welcoming, whatever. And then my yellow dog, she honored one of his dogs baying up, and she went out there, blew past it, whatever. Well, his dogs end up baying up another rally. Actually, it wasn't even a rally. I don't know. There's like a little group, and we sent another dog into there, and then that's when Bales left, and she went and caught another pig on her own, and we caught another pig under a thicket. But I mean, yeah, she's just weird. My yellow dog's fucking weird, is what I'm saying. I don't want to sit here and talk on it too much. But you know, do you got anything else you want to cover on that?
On what, the weirdness of dogs?
Yeah, just fucking dogs being stupid and frustrating you sometimes.
No, old man told me one time, a dog will embarrass you faster than anything. I mean, so don't ever talk up on a dog, because it'll turn around and embarrass you. And I've been guilty of that. I've talked up a dog before and brought him hunting and flat out embarrassed me.
Yeah.
So I learned my lesson on that the hard way.
I know Newt's gonna do it. I know that motherfucker's gonna do it to me now.
I've only ever had one dog that I could say whatever I wanted to about him, and he still hunted the same no matter what.
And what was it, a yellow dog?
No.
Oh,
the yellow dog I got right now is the first yellow dog I've ever owned. I've always been a brindle dog, you know.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's what I've always hunted, was brindle dogs. But he had, I guess he had some yellow dog in him. His mama was half Plott and half yellow black mouth. Ain't no fancy bloodlines in it or nothing, some backyard stuff, just old school stuff. And his daddy was a quarter mountain cur and 3/4 Plott. And his daddy was a sure enough hog dog. Drop him at daylight, and if the hog runner wanted to run till dark, he'd be bait at dark.
Damn.
He wasn't no fast dog, wasn't no rough dog, nothing. He just slow and steady.
Huh.
Man had a freight train of a bark on him.
Oh, I believe it.
But, no, his name was SJ. His daddy's name was Sam, so Sam Jr.
Yeah.
And he was a sure enough dog. Fast. I don't know where he got the speed from, but the baby dog was fast. He wasn't rough. He was like that Cody dog I had. He'd stand yonder way, 20 yards back, and bay. But he was loud, but he'd run one all night. And he was bad. He wasn't a dog that you got about 2 hours left to hunt. Oh, we got time. No, it ain't going to work, because if he ain't ready to go, he'll run a hog all the way up right there to you, and then see the hog crossing. He'll run 100 yards down the road, cross the road, run 100 yards back up the woods, and get back on the hog again, just to avoid getting caught.
That sounds about right.
He definitely caused some issues in my marriage over that one, because I hunted. Whenever I had him, I hunted. I hunted five nights a week. Didn't matter if I had work or not. I'd hunt.
God. That's...
He wasn't going to make a little quick, 3-hour loop. Go turn loose at dark, be back by, 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
It wasn't like that with him. That baby dog he would roll. And what was bad about him, he was like his daddy. you can go catch a hog in 30 minutes. You want to go catch one hog, go home? Okay, go turn loose. You catch one hog, go home. You can't do that because as soon as you touch that hog, he's gone. It was so bad. We went one day, and it was a group of us, a bunch of us went, and we was catching hogs. So we caught like 4 that day. Right after deer season, late January, February, that area, you can catch hogs around here. You can catch some good hogs. Well, we caught like 4 or 5, and the guy that we was with was on his leash. He's like, I got to go. Well, he bait again. And I told him, I said, well, you best catch him before we grab the hog. And he thought I was joking. I caught him before I sent the bulldog.
God damn.
That dog, he was bad. He wasn't real good at stopping them. You'd run a hog every time you brought him. He was one you could send. You can pull up Walmart parking lot and turn him loose, and he'd go find you a hog. But you could do that 100 times and catch a hog once.
Damn. That's good shit. I like to hear that. Now, you know, you tell all these. Now, what would you say let's say your biggest hog you've ever caught? What would it be?
Tracy's gonna get a kick out of this one because he denies it still to this day. Says my scales was off.
Oh yeah, sorry.
15.
Hey, we gotta confirm it's gotta be on. You gotta have a scale weight on it.
I ain't got no pictures. I was 15 years old.
No, it's fine. I believe you as long as you've seen the scale. Fuck everybody else.
Oh no, he had a scale on him. I don't know an exact weight because he bought him the scale out.
Oh,
but
shit.
being a buddy of mine, he'd never been hog hunt before. He's a little old beanpole. He got on the juice now. He's a pretty good sized boy now. But he don't hog hunt. He don't do nothing. He deer hunt, anything. Me and him was just thicker than thieves in high school. And it was my freshman year, I think it was. I was 15. We went hunting behind my house. And we found a big old track up underneath the feeder. I had my Cody dog and a dog I called 600 because I paid $600 for her. And we pulled up there, found that track. I turned them loose. They went in there. They sat down and bayed by that feeder, probably, I don't know, 300 or 400 yards from that feeder. They bayed, but that hog broke and run. And it was, you know, whenever it's real cold outside, it was colder than shit outside. But it was real, real cold. It's like you could hear anything. Like it was so quiet. You could hear shit way off.
Yeah.
Well, they ran that hog, and they was about 500 yards from us. And I'm telling you, I heard the hog hit water. I heard the hog wolf, you know, kind of buffalo him. Whenever they hit him in the ass to stop him, and then they went down and sat down and bayed. We pulled up there. I was able to get like 200 yards from them. And I told my buddy, I was like, look, I said, this is a big hog. Do I need to call help? He's like, no, I'm good. I said, all right. I said, I can call somebody to help me. I had a little old bulldog. I called Nig. I opened up my door at a Shell station, and he jumped in. And I brought him home. They catch a little machine. Well, we pulled up there. We walked in, and that dog was probably 25 pounds maybe. A little bitty dog. We walked in there, and I looked at Gabe right before I sent him. I said, are you sure? He's like, I'm good. I said, all right. I sent Nig. He hit. I ran in there, and the hog was sitting down, and Nig's front feet was up off the ground. But he was hanging on the ear.
God
damn.
damn.
That hog in the side and his leg. I reached to grab a tail, but there wasn't no tail. I bobbed it, or my uncle bobbed it. Well, I need him in the side, and that leg kicked out. Well, I grabbed that leg, I picked him up, and I'm trying to flip him. I can't get him flipped. I'm like, where the hell's Gabe at? Well, I went to look around, he ain't nowhere to be found. I hollered at him, and about 50 yards from him, his light poked out behind a tree. He said,
no.
I said, I need some fucking help. Well, he came in there, he grabbed the leg. I had a leg. Well, I'd go one way, he'd go the other way. Now, this hog had some shanks on him. He had some big teeth. I'd go one way, he'd go the other way. Finally, I got bound. I grabbed both of them. I just kicked him in the side. And he just rolled over. He's so fat. Whenever I got him down, he wasn't nothing. I mean, he was so fat, he couldn't move after he was down. It took a set of hobbles to go from one leg to the other leg. I used 2 sets of hobbles on him to get him hobbled. And I've always been a rope guy, but I was young, and I fucking used hobbles at that time.
Yeah.
Well, he was so fat. My buddy, I told him, I said, I got my knife out and I stuck him, but I couldn't get through the fat. I carry a trapper case pocket knife under the arm, bottom of the armpit. I was going in and I couldn't get through. So I used his knife, opened it up. I shoved my knife in as far as I could and grabbed his and shoved it farther in. And finally we hit the goods. And he went to pumping blood. We killed him. Whatever. I got a tractor in there. He filled a 45 horse tractor bucket up. We brought him out, and I put him on a set of 500-pound scales, the old spring scales. Before his hips left the ground, he bottomed them out.
Oh my gosh, damn.
I was 6'1" at the time. I'm still 6'1". I ain't grew since my freshman year. And I got a picture of me standing beside him. His feet's touching the ground, and he's still above my head. He's a pretty blue hog. And he had probably 3.5, 4 inch teeth on both sides. Well, I didn't mount him. I cut his head off to skull mount him, and I had his head in my house, and I had a little bulldog puppy that got a hold to the head and got it outside and lost one side of it.
God.
But you could pull that tooth that was left all the way out, and it'd start from your pinky color out all the way to the tips of your fingers and hit the back on the bottom side of your hand on the same side you started. It was a big hole. Didn't cut anything.
That is freaking crazy. That is a monster. And look, so I did one with, I don't know, did you listen to Derek Days by chance?
Uh-uh.
Well, Derek told a story, and man, Derek was legit about it. He ended up telling in the podcast, he was like, look, it was a tame hog that got away. And he's like, so I tied it, whatever. Or he caught it with dogs. He really did. But it was out and wild. It grew teeth and everything over like 6 month period.
Oh, this was a full-blooded woods hog. I caught 2 of them that same week. I'll tell you a story about the other whenever you get done.
Yeah. So I was just saying how bad the viewers were on it, man. They didn't even listen to the podcast. They're like, bullshit, no one catches 498 pounds. So let's listen to your next story then, because I'm going to tell you right now, for our little... for my little 30-second preview that I do posting-wise, I'm sharing that part where you talk about how big this hog is. So just wait for all the hate and the negative comments. I'm just giving you a forewarning.
And I was 15 years old. Facebook had just probably started.
How old are you right now?
It wasn't the social media stuff to post and brag about it. But this was the same week. I actually think I caught this hog the week before I caught that one. I think this hog is the first hog. Then I caught that big one. Well, anyways, there's a group of us, and my Cody dog, the one I been talking about, he was a puppy. We pulled up behind my mama's house. My dad, he's been barring hogs and hunting hogs loose back there for years. So we got big bars over here. I don't know where they went to now. They're gone. But we pulled up on this, there's a trail. They had a rub that I'd put some oil out on the side of a little fire lane, just on a little pine tree. They had a waller there, and I put some oil in it. And there was 2 good bars hitting it. One of them was a listed bar, and one of them was another blue sandy colored hog. We pulled up there, and I had 600, and a buddy of mine had a dog he called Bullet. That was 2 dogs we paid for. I don't know how much he paid for his, but 600 I actually got her from Dustin Reeves. I didn't get her directly from Dustin, but I got her from Dustin's house. It was a Parker dog. Okay. Something that he was running back then. Well, we pulled up, turned them 2 older dogs loose, and they left. Boom. They's 800-900 yards gone. Well, I turned Cody loose, and he measled on up the trail, 100 yards, 150 yards, kind of messing around. Well, I walked down the trail behind him, and we got in there. I didn't have a garment on me. It was at the buggy or at the trucks with my dad. He's walking in there, and he's out ahead of me. I don't see him. Well, I'm just walking up this hog trail, and it came up to this bottom we call the duck slough, which it dries up. It didn't have no water in it, and it's a big pine thicket on the backside of it. And Cody had a distinct bark to him whenever he found one. It was kind of like a booger bark, but like a triple chop booger bark. They pretty just old school cur dog bark.
Yeah.
Make the hair stand up on your arms. Well, I heard him hit that, and I was like, damn, That's Cody. I wonder what the hell he's got, because the high-powered dogs, money dogs, the dogs with names behind them and everything, they're gone. They done blew the country out. Well, he went in there. He went to baying. Well, I walked in there, and I have the video of it on my phone. If I can find it, I'll send it to you. But I walked in there, and he was, sure enough, he's bayed at big old blue bar. And that hog he bayed so far back that hog was walking with him. It was kind of like a little, I ain't going to say it's a gully, but it's a low spot, like a little finger. That hog was walking down with him, and Cody was baiting. Well, that hog broke and run. But whenever he broke and run, he went back across the road we was sitting on. Well, I'm headed out. My dad and them's headed in with the bulldogs. I was like, where y'all going? He said, Cody's bait. I said, no, he's not. He broke. Me and my dad argued. I was like, he's gone. I said, I was watching him. I said, he's across the road. So we went across the road, and sure enough, he was bait. Walked in there with the bulldogs. We sent 2 bulldogs. We sent Nig and my cousin's bulldog, Sambo. We sent them 2 in there. Well, about the time we unsnapped, them 2 other dogs came back and sat down and bayed the other bar like 100 yards from us. So as soon as we unsnapped, Sambo went to them and Nig went to the other dogs. Well, I fell in behind Sambo going to Cody, and my dad was with me, and my cousin Weston, he was with me. We got in there, bulldog hit, and he just kept getting thrown constantly. Cody was trying to catch. He was getting thrown. Well, finally, Sambo, he hung him. Well, I went in there head first, and I reached down to grab legs, and he flipped Sambo and turned back around and got in my lap. And I jumped straight up. First time I ever cussed in front of my daddy, I hollered fuck as loud as I could.
God damn.
And if I hit the ground, I threw a rooster tail up trying to get out of there. Well, Sambo was done. My cousin packed him out, and he said, I'm not sending you back in there. He was messed up. Didn't have a vest on. My cousin didn't run vest, whatever. But he was messed up. So he packed him out. Well, I ended up, I guess it don't make it as cool. I ended up walking back in there and shooting the hog.
Well, you had to do what you had to do.
We got him out, and he's on the back. I got a picture of him. I'll send it to you, too. I'll send them 2 blue hogs I'm talking about. I'll send you pictures of them.
Yeah. I ain't posting them right away, though. So when all the shit talking starts coming, don't post a picture. Just let them run them mouths. That's what I do. Shit, I don't give a fuck. I'll purposely do that shit.
They'll still talk shit about it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But
all right. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh, you good. We got him out, put him on the back of a Rancher 420 with a basket rack on the back of it, and he dwarfed it. He actually blew the rear end out of that four-wheeler whenever we was driving him out, busted the shocks out. We put him on scales, digital scales. Like I said, I was 15. I didn't have all the social media shit. I might have had Facebook at that time. But
how old are you now? Sorry, I asked earlier, but
27.
Oh, okay.
But he, on the scale, he was 425 and some change.
Fuck.
So within a week, I caught a 425 and some change, and I caught one of them. I don't know his exact weight. I know he was more than 500 pounds. I'm not saying he was 600 pounds or 550 pounds, but his hips were still on the ground, still touching whenever the scale bottomed out.
God damn. Dude, that is badass. I mean, I love hearing stories like that, because you know what? It's not just something somebody talks about all the time. Like, here I am thinking, you know, like that 375 pounder I caught, you know, I did everything under the sun to make sure I caught it. But like, a lot of people
they're still going to doubt you, man. They're still going to doubt you on your weight whenever you post it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, no, there was no questions, because I had someone recording me recording the scale. And then, I did every little detail. But what I did is I posted that fucking hog, and I said 375. Oh, dude, I'm telling you, it was 500 people. Not 500, I'm exaggerating, but 100 plus. Man, that hog ain't that big, blah, 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 blah. And then guess what? I posted the video. It was fucking crickets. Not a single person said shit. I was like, yeah, exactly.
And I've got pictures of bars that I've caught since then, and got pictures of the scale and everything, you know, 300, 350, stuff around there. And like in person, they ain't shit compared to them two hogs. That's the two biggest hogs I've ever caught in my life. And I'll probably never catch another one as big as them. I ain't seen a picture of another hog that would come close to them. I take that back. I got a picture of one of them that I'm waiting on to go after deer season, and it's a male hog. He's a big listed boar hog, and he might come close.
What, you thinking close to
the 400 range?
Oh, I was like, gosh damn, another. I said, hey, look, check it out. I'm gonna meet you there, and we're gonna figure this shit out together.
Oh, I'm talking like he'll be in the 4s.
Gosh damn, that's a big fucking hog, dude.
Where I caught that last hog I was just talking about, my cousin's wife, they're on the lease back there. She just killed one like last week, I think it was. And if I can get him to send me a picture of it, because he don't send me pictures of hogs they kill because he knows how I like my hogs.
Yeah, oh yeah.
But somebody else showed it to me, and it was, I just told Trace how much it weighed today. It was 3-something. A big old boar hog, had probably 3-inch teeth on him, a fine hog, good thick coat on him. If I would have caught him or killed him, I'd have mounted him.
God damn. Oh, I love hearing shit like that, man. People don't understand that there's hogs out there that big, and you know it blows my mind because all the people that are talking shit, Colby, and you can just back me up on this one 100%. Everybody that talks shit, it's always, if that's the case, this one would have weighed this. It's like, you know how funny that is? Because that one you're saying this one should is the only one you've caught that's been relatively of good size. I think I would have to check the book, but I'm at 12 hogs this year over 300 pounds. Everybody on this is going to say that's bullshit. And I don't give a fuck. I don't, because I know what I'm at.
Well, what people don't put into perspective is they look at the length on how big the hog is. I caught 2 hogs that year. One of them was like 315, and the other one was like 270 something. That 270 something I'd have told you was 350 pounds. He was long. Yeah. That 315 was just as wide as he was long, it seemed like. You know, like you could line eggs up across his back. He was thick, short and thick. And they don't understand the density whenever you got a little short, thick hog. You still pack weight like that. They might not look big from the side because they ain't 8 miles long. But it's a thickness that, to me, plays a big factor in it. I've caught small hogs standing next to each other, where this hog's bigger than this hog, but the smaller hog weighs more than the big hog. Yep.
Yeah, and I mean, so I ran into the problem one time. You know, I weighed a hog on the day we caught it, and then the day we turned it in, and it was 309, and the day we turned it in, it was 292. So, I mean...
Do you have it in a trailer?
Yeah, you already know.
Stress.
Yeah, I know. See, I mean, but what would you consider that? Is that? But you want to know how honest I am? I put that down in my book as a under 300 pound hog, as a 290, whatever exactly it was. But I didn't even consider that in one of my 300 pound hogs because I was saying my scale was off. But I know it wasn't. I know they lose weight in the trailer. I know they do. Every single hog I've ever turned into a tournament has lost and I put water and corn in the trailer with the hogs. And it's outrageous. So, I mean, I get what you're saying on them losing weight, but what would you consider that hog caught? Would you put it in your book as a 300 pounder, or would you put it in your book as a 290?
I put it in my book as a 300 pounder. That's like with deer. I'm a big time deer hunter too. I love deer hunting.
Yeah.
Gross. That's what you score a deer on. Fuck the net or the green, not gross, but like gross too and net, but green. Like if you get put in the books or whatever, say your deer scores a 186 and 7/8 green. Well, they go through a 60-day drying period. After you cut the horns off and everything, it has to go through a 60 days after the deer was killed, drying. And then that's what your actual score is. Why? That's not how that deer walked around.
No, yeah. I agree with you. I do. And so what about teeth-wise on a hog? let me ask you that, because I measured these hogs' teeth, and I don't have the book in front of me, so I'm not going to tell you numbers, because you know how I don't give a fuck what anybody's got to say. I just don't want to be wrong on the numbers. But same thing with hogs' teeth. You know, I let those beetles eat away a head, and when I got the teeth back, I measured from the gum line up. Of course, you know how you're supposed to, and it lost 1 1/4 of an inch when it was complete. And you know, they say it should be longer once all the meat's off of it.
Well, I mean, that goes back I would think it would work like the deer horns do. Is they have it's a dry measurement, I guess, on hog teeth, like you'd say. To me, for what everything should be is as the hog's walking around fresh.
Okay.
Or, you know, as the deer's walking around fresh, like you kill it, whatever measurements you get there is what it should be.
I agree with you. 100%. Well, shit. All right, but anything else you want to cover on that one? I'm loving talking right now. I'm fucking not keeping track of time.
I could talk for hours about dogs.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure. So do you got anything to cover on anything we've talked about so far?
I think we've covered everything as much as we needed to, plus some.
Okay. So we're a little bit more than halfway, but we still got some more talking to do, y'all. You don't got to shut it out yet. But do you have any shout-outs you want to give to anybody? You want to talk some shit to somebody? You want to maybe throw down with them next weekend? I don't give a shit. Now's your time to say it.
I'm going to challenge Dawson Dole and T-Kill to an arm wrestling competition.
God fucking damn. Okay. I got to remember to put that in the deal. I'm going to tag them in it. Fucking make sure it happens.
Yeah, Trey said he's going to take on Kenneth.
Arm wrestling. Hold on. Tell me, Kenneth is taking Trace?
Yeah, it's Trace against Kenneth, and I'm going to arm wrestle T-Kill and Dawson at the same time.
Okay, Tequila and Dawson versus Colby. Alright, I got that shit saved. Man, that's that fucking dumb shit, but it's funny because I know there's a backstory to it. But hold on. Any other shout outs you got?
No, man, I think that's good. I can't think of nobody right now.
Okay, so what's the backstory to this bullshit?
Oh, no, we're just me, Trace, T-Kill, Dawson, and Kenneth. We're in a group chat, and we always just talk shit to each other.
Oh.
If you, I don't know if you do sponsors or anything, but if you can, Bosley would be good for T-Kill.
Oh my gosh, damn.
Or we can start a GoFundMe for implants.
Motherfucker. Dude, he's gonna be like, look, I support the podcast. You better shut that fucking shit down now. Fucking edit it out. No, I don't edit shit out, man. That's fucking funny.
I ain't no better than he is. I'm about bald too, so.
Fuck. I like them. I do, and they're just good people to talk with. But, alright, we're gonna move a little forward now. Let's talk about your kennel maintenance, flea and tick. Well, I mean, you don't have as many headed dog as majority of people, but there's nothing wrong with that. What are you doing for flea and tick preventative?
Man, I do not have issues with fleas at my house at all. I don't have any issues. Once a month, I give my dogs a Dawn bath, and that'll wipe out what I got.
Wow. You're a lucky individual.
I do not have, it's weird, I don't have flea problems over there.
Damn.
And literally a quarter mile where I grew up at, where I live at, I grew up there, and then we moved to my grandma's house at the end of the driveway. It's a quarter mile.
Yeah.
We moved there. She's on a sand hill. We had bad problems with sand fleas. It didn't matter what you did, but whenever we had them bad there, I used the Bayer tree and shrub. I'd mix it up in a pump-up sprayer and spray it. It would wipe them out.
Wait, you just sprayed it on your yard? Not your dogs as well, right?
I'd sprayed it on my yard, and I'd take it, and I'd pour it across the top of the back of my dogs and rub it in. And that was it. Never had no issues.
Okay, now, we already talked about hydration. What about worming?
I use all worm out every 3 months.
What is that? I mean, can you...
That's what it's called. It's all worm out. Salvation Dog Supply, I think's where you get it from. And it works. I don't have no issues with worms. My dogs stay healthy. I want to say Trace started his own deal. He mixes his own stuff now. But whatever he's got works good too. But it's kind of like the same as all worm out, but it's got a mixture of stuff where whatever he has mixed up kills everything. You know, like some worms, you know, it kill the
hookworms, pinworms, roundworms, yeah.
It won't kill the whipworms or the hookworms or whatever. What Trace has wipes out everything.
Yeah, but how fucking fucked up is your dog for a week or so after it?
Trace's dog seemed to be fine. I think Trace has drank some of it because he's a little fucked up. But his dog is fine.
God damn, motherfucker. Trace, man, between Trace and Dawson, you're going to have a fucking hit out on your head. God damn.
I'm telling you, Trace's cornbread ain't done in the middle.
Dude, that motherfucker is a little different. He cracks me up. He's sitting there. He's like, that motherfucker's haircut and shit. I'm like, God damn, dude.
You see whenever he got his braids?
Yeah, I remember when he did that too. That was what, last year he did that shit?
Yeah.
What the fuck goes through his mind sometimes?
Nothing.
Oh shit, man! I tried getting him on here. He said he won't. He's
we can talk about that.
I know I can. I left it alone. I'll talk to you about it after. But yeah, I know he'll come on. I gotta talk to him a little bit more.
And Trace is very knowledgeable about dogs and stuff. Like really knowledgeable,
dude.
Whenever it comes to like your typical stuff like kennel keep ups and worming and preventums and everything else, he's very knowledgeable about that shit. He's like you. He researches a lot of shit.
Yeah. He's, man, fuck, him and I talk a lot about plots, of course, because, you know, and he done got that Showtime dog puppy, and man, he started sending me videos. Then he fucking won. He was talking shit. I said, motherfucker, I'm telling you, that dog's gonna be jam up. I'm telling you, just give it some time. He's like, oh, I know. I ain't worried about it. I said, dude, anything that comes out of Showtime, I love Mike Colley, man. And I got to say this real quick, but that absolutely blew my mind when he sold Showtime.
I haven't heard anything bad about him. I got a buddy that lives in Oklahoma, and he don't hog hunt or nothing, but I went up there and I was working, and he hooked me up with his cousin that is a big-time bear hunter, and he runs strictly plots. I'm talking, got some fine stuff. And we went over there, and he asked me about dogs, you know. He knew I was a dog person, but he didn't know how much I knew, which I don't know a whole lot. I'm old school. None of the stuff I have any papers on it.
There's nothing wrong with that, really.
I don't even know how she's bred. I don't know nothing about her. I just got her as a puppy.
Yeah.
Well, I got her, she was a little over a year old whenever I got her. No, she was right at 2. My male dog was about a year old. My male dog hadn't been messed with. She knew a little bit. I don't know how she's bred. Don't know nothing. I know my male dog has Wisconsin buck Kimmerker in him. I don't know nothing else about him. And the only reason I found that out is because he has a set of vocal cords on him. He is louder than fuck. And I was just trying to figure out where that came from. And it came from that Kimmer stock. But that guy that lived up there, Josh Price is his name. Y'all hit him up. He does guided bear hunts in New Mexico. I mean, he's a sure enough real deal. Find him on Facebook. He's got some sure enough plots, and I went up there with him, and we rigged hogs, and he could tell when they was rigging bear.
Gosh, damn.
I caught a hog with it, and 5 minutes later, they rigged the bear. We was hog hunting. They rigged the bear, went there, treated. He pulled them off, and we went on about our business.
Wow.
And they are rough. They are rough dogs.
And these are plots, full plots.
Full blooded plots. They got. Don't give me the line about the bloodline. that they got in him, I have no idea. But he's a sure enough dog man, and he's a bear dog guy, but he keeps his dogs conditioned in the off season on hogs.
Damn.
Because he goes up to New Mexico, I want to say it is. He goes up to 2 different places. I want to say one of them's New Mexico, and he guides bear hunts.
Fuck.
I
don't know. I can't sit here and act like I know anything about that because I don't. I absolutely do not. That's badass though, man. That is, man, to have that kind of knowledge about your own dog says that dude spends a lot of time with his dogs.
Yeah, that's all he does is dogs.
Huh.
Well, I don't even think the man works.
I think
he sells rocks.
Right.
Whatever he ain't there on.
Well, all right. So the next one, I don't want to hear the funniest, not the craziest, not the scariest, not the best, nothing. I want to hear the most memorable. I don't give a shit how shitty it is. What is your most memorable hog hunt ever?
Oh, I'll have to think on that one.
Do you want to jump to the finale question and then
we'll jump to the next one. We'll come back on the most memorable.
All right. So everybody knows it. Favorite dog of all time. It doesn't have to be a hog dog. It can be anything. It's your favorite dog of all time.
Cody's, that male dog I've been talking about.
And tell me why, of course.
Well, like I said, he was a late bloomer. 1.5 old. Whenever he was a young puppy, probably 4 or 5 months old, I had some blooded hogs running around my house, and he'd bay the socks off of them in the yard. Well, I brought him to Dustin Reeves. He had a woods pen, so I brought him over there, and he bayed a sow and a bunch of pigs in that woods pen. Well, he caught one of the pigs, and that sow roughed him up and broke his back leg right up above his elbow, below his hip, right up above his elbow. Snapped it, too. Brought him to the vet, got put in a splint, and I have a video of him baying hogs with the splint on in my yard. And I thought that would ruin him, which it did. Like, he'd bay them in the yard, whatever, but hunt-wise, no. He'd do it a little bit here and there. You'd find hogs with him in fresh sign, but he wasn't all that great. Well, finally, after about 1.5 old, he started clicking. Started finding hogs. He didn't have a handle on him. I mean, he wasn't like the dogs I got now. They got a handle on them. But also, that was back in the 220, early 320 days. There was no shocking and toning and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I can make that dog call a dog back. Like if we was hunting and I had him back in the truck when I was hooping for dogs, whatever, they wouldn't come out. I could tell him, hey, son, call him back. And I'd start hooping and he'd start baying.
What?
On the back of the truck. And they'd come on out. Every time.
That is badass. You know, you say that, and I'm not trying to, like, tell this story to, like, down that one, but, I mean, we use kind of the same logic. Like, when I got puppies in the woods, what we'll do is I got a speaker, an Echo Gear. Maybe they'll sponsor me one day. Fuck, that'd be nice.
Oh, I use the Turtle Box with hog sounds.
Yep, that's what I do too. Exactly. And then all my dogs will just yo, 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 freaking out, and I'll get dogs back from 800-900 yards away. You know, it's nice. Yeah. But when they come out, man, them motherfuckers give you that look like they are pissed. They are fucking pissed. There ain't nothing there. So I might be ruining them doing that. I mean,
I don't think it does.
It's very rare that I got to do that shit. I'm saying like once every 4 or 5 months.
My Jeff I got now, I can't tell you how many times I've left her.
What do you do? Just leave some clothing behind?
No, I just leave her. She'll hit a spell where she don't want to listen, don't want to come back, and I'll leave her.
Dude, I'm about there with one of these fucking dogs. And everybody, all y'all fucking lefties listening to this, because I know there's a few of them out there, fuck you, because I don't give a shit what you got to say. Sometimes I think it's better to do that with a dog. Like, but I'm not gonna lie to you, man. My buddy can vouch for it. I sleep out in the woods. I know everybody's like, Bullshit. No, we do. We started a little fire. My wife and I did it when she was 9 months pregnant. Newt was out there. We could not pick him up. We drove all the way around everything with our boat. We couldn't pick him up. 9 months pregnant. And she's like, we're not going home. Not with Newt out there. I don't give a fuck what you say. And I have telemetries on him as well. And I could pick him up with my telemetry, but long distance, he had to be 3 to 4 miles away because I couldn't pick him up with medium or close range. And he wasn't staying consistent, so I figured he was moving still. So we started a fire and we laid there till 4 in the morning, and we got him about 4:30. We was able to pick him up from the telemetry, got a little closer, and then we picked him up with the Garmin at I threw an antenna in the tree and caught him at 2 point some miles away. And then we got to a closer location, was able to get him back, and he was fucked up a little bit, so he got on something. But, I mean, no telling where he ended up. I mean, I couldn't even walk out to him because I had no idea where he was going. So, yeah, I know what you're saying with that. But, I mean, what's your technique when you do that? You know, how do you go back out the next morning? What do you do?
Yeah, no, I'll go back out the next morning and try to pick up communication. Typically, whenever I'll leave her, I lost communication with her. But there's been times I've left her and I still had communication with her, and she was in the middle of a tie-dyed thicket, just being an ass. So I just leave her, and I go back out the next day, and she wants to be an ass. I'll leave her the rest of the day.
Yeah.
I mean, there's been times where I've left her and went back out the next day and tried all day getting her back and couldn't. So I just left her again. She'd still be in the same spot. Not in the same spot like she's hurt. She's moved around. But, I'd leave her again. So the longest she's ever stayed out in the woods without me was 3 days.
God damn.
She finally came back out. I'll throw a shirt or something down. I ain't saying I don't do that. I will. I'll put a shirt down, but
yeah. And y'all that believe that
be an ass to be an ass.
Y'all that don't believe, I'm gonna Colby, I gotta give a little bit of advice from my side as well. What I do in these situations, for y'all that don't believe the shirt technique is fucking bullshit. I have a camera that will prove it, and my wife will prove it. I always keep a cell camera on me just in case of these circumstances, and then I put the shirt there. I'll put the shirt in that location, shirt, whatever, something with my scent and my wife's scent, just in case, whatever the case may be, I put both. And then I'll put a cell camera there. So right once that cell camera's off, I don't give a fuck if I'm in the middle of a 24-inch weld that's getting ready to get x-rayed. That shit is getting fucking shut down, and I'm heading home, and I'm going to get my dog. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. At least the camera went off. I know they're within the vicinity. But just a little word of advice. Nowadays, the Garmin's, the battery will die a lot quicker on them if you leave them at 2.5 seconds. So I do not immediately put them in emergency mode. I take them and I put them into 5-minute or 10-minute updates, and I just leave it at that. Go ahead. If you got to leave. Do what you got to do, and then come back. We did it. I came back 3 days for a dog on the Nature's River one time. Never found them. They ended up getting found, whatever, called us, and sorry, Colby, I'm just giving some advice in this real quick.
Oh, you're good.
And they reached out, we got our dog back, whatever, but then I had a female that took out one time, and believe it or not, when I got the camera picture at the fucking shirt, she had no collar on anymore, none. And she was at the camera, so I ran out there, and she must have got beat or something. I have the photo still of my dog showing up to that shirt on camera. Ran out there. I had to chase her on foot. My wife vouches. I chased her. I ended up hip deep running through cold, freezing water, and she was still running from me like she was scared, like something happened to her. She didn't know and this was in a matter of 24 hours. So I don't know what happened to her, who messed with her, who scared her. I don't know. But I ended up putting hands on her, and I called my wife. I was so happy that I got her back. And this ain't one of those, you left her situations. The Garmins are fucking pieces of shits, to be honest.
They are. I'll say that. I've had so much hell out of mine, of the collars dropping just randomly, no issues. And everybody's like, well, you just hunt with a bunch of people. You got too many cars going. I have
That's
two
bullshit.
dogs.
That is
I run
bullshit.
3 cars. I run one on my bulldog, one on my 2 cur dogs. They're all on different deals. They don't interfere with each other. And sometimes it'll drop at 100 yards, and then I'll pick her up at 0.6.
And then they're gonna
at 0.6.
They're gonna say, well, you need to update them. Yo, I'm telling you, I refurbish collars. Majority of people listening know that. If Garmin sponsors me, I'm going to be honest with y'all. If they ever would, they're never going to, but I'm saying I would never talk shit on them if they do, because yeah, they're going to fucking replace the bullshit I got. Because the T5, I'm going to tell y'all right now, my wife and I are still doing an experiment. We have a T5, a regular T5. And then everything else we run are TT15Xs. The TT25's batteries haven't kept up with the X's, whatever the case may be.
The TT25s suck ass.
Yeah,
I've had 3 of them, and within 2 weeks, they all start fucking up.
Yes, yeah. And y'all, I'm not trying to push everybody away from this or whatever. I'm giving you legitimate advice I hunt 3-4 days a week minimum. So these TT15X, this T5, the battery life is lasting longer than the TT15Xs now, which it's not supposed to. And I can keep dogs on, without having to throw an antenna in a tree, I can keep dogs tracked for up to 2 miles. When the TT15Xs are dropping out 1.27, 1.3 something. So, I don't know. Y'all tell me, give me some, not advice, give me some feedback on it. Maybe we can do some more research into it. Let's talk about it, I'm sorry, Colby. You talk about it too, shit.
Whenever you started, you probably started out with like the 200, huh?
No, I started out with the 100.
So the 100 and the original TT15s is the best.
That's what I heard.
One they made. The best one as far as keeping communication was the T5 and the 430.
See,
as far as the track and train goes, the 100 is still to this day the best system they've ever made.
That's what everybody says, and I'm
for
trying
track
to.
And train.
Yep, everybody still says to this day, if they could go back to if they could find a 100 for reasonably priced, they'd always keep one. And I like my 300 just because of the screen. But I really wish I never got rid of my 100. I have 300, 300, and 200. And then the little hidden trick with the iPads using it instead of an Alpha XL.
Yeah, that's what I got. I got the iPad. I got a TV screen of an iPad.
Yeah, and everybody, I need an Alpha XL. I need to go ahead and spend $1,200. Well, yeah, continue to have fun flaunting your money around. But I'm telling you right now them iPads work just as good as them Alpha XLs.
The only thing I don't like about the iPad, which you might have found out the trick to fix it, is it shows everything in feet. You can't get it to where on the maps where it shows in yards.
Yeah, I'll send a little video or something. I guess I can do that. I didn't know that. I really only use it like when I'm at the houseboat or something and I'm leaving my antenna in a tree or up on a roof or something. Like, I'll throw my antenna up, and I'll leave the Garmin somewhere, and I'll pull the iPad up to the houseboat. So I have to play with it a little bit, and I'll send something. But, yeah. Man, gosh damn, we covered a lot of really good shit right there. If anybody whenever I post this, people better listen till the end, because there's a lot of great advice right there alone. Just in my opinion, that's something I wish, all this shit that we just covered right here, Colby, I wish I knew 2 years ago. I wish I did.
Like, you can download that Garmin Explorer app on your cell phone.
Yep.
And use your cell phone also.
Yep. And a lot of people don't know that. They don't.
In my opinion, I'll ask yours, the maps are 10 times better on the Garmin Explorer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right. And they don't glitch. Have you noticed? I don't know how yours works, but they don't necessarily glitch when you go to like zoom out, zoom in. They do a little bit, but not like a 300 would or something with maps on it. They don't do that dumb shit.
No. I had a problem with I got the 200i still. I had a problem with mine on the maps. Whenever I go to zoom in, it would take forever for the maps to load and pop back up. But what it was Trey showed me this, that I had too many maps still in the, whatever the hell you call it, ain't tech savvy, the folder or whatever.
Yeah.
But I deleted out, Trace deleted all of them out, and it started working fine again.
Yeah, that, and then also your channels. I mean, maybe I'll cover it one day, since I might try to get with Trace too, as long as, if he's pretty tech savvy with it too. Maybe
Trace is very tech savvy with the Garmin's.
Maybe him and I can get together and talk, because I'd really like to talk channels with everybody. Channels, IDs, all that. You know, every time I'm on a hunt, like, especially with a lot of other people, y'all can talk all the shit you want. You've been in it for 2 years, whatever, blah, blah. I mean, I get handed everybody's Garmin's. Everybody's. I might have like 6 to 10 Garmin's in my hands trying to, like, establish all the communication throughout the dogs, or else you're going to have interference. And when, you know, dog 1, dog 5, dog 7, dog 8, dog 9 got interference, you're showing a dog barking at 7.12 miles away. For example, a buddy of mine was hunting the same river I was, and he was 3 miles from me. I had his dog on my Garmin. There was an ID conflict. I didn't know it. My dogs that were bayed were showing that they were 7.1 miles away because there was an ID conflict. So,
Yes.
Shit like that, and I didn't know he was even hunting. I had no idea. I just was going out by myself. So I'm just giving y'all a good, you know, pay attention to shit like this. We're rolling up to the end, Colby. You know, did you come up with your most memorable hunt yet?
Yeah, I'll have to say I talk about it a lot, I guess. The most memorable hunt I've ever had was right whenever Cody had clicked. He started hitting on all cylinders. I was hunting with a guy, very well-known guy. I ain't gonna say his name, but he's a very well-known guy in the hog hunting industry. He came hunting with us that morning, and Cody was a little over a year and a half old. He had been clicking on for a few months at this time, and there was a light pole by the house that had been getting hit. Well, we pulled up there. He turned his dog loose. It went out there, made a loop, came back. I turned my dog loose. I say by the house. It was about 15 minutes from the house. He's a known guy. Me and him do not jive, so I ain't gonna say his name. But he turned his dog loose. He went out there, made a big loop, came back, and he said that hog wasn't there. Well, my dad told me to turn Cody loose, so I turned Cody loose, and the guy, I'll probably end up slipping and saying his name because I almost did it just now. He said, "Don't turn that dog loose. That hog ain't there. Let's go on to the next spot." Well, I turned loose, and we sat there for probably 2 hours, I would say. And in 2 hours, he made it like 400-something yards. And that dog that guy had, almost said it again. He had went out there, made a loop, and came back, and he was about the 400-yard mark when he turned around. About 2 hours into it, Cody was about 400 yards. Well, he went maybe 450, 500, something like that, sat down, went to honking on him. And I said, "There's your hog." He said, "There ain't no way." My dog was just there. I almost said the dog's name. My dog was just there. He ain't there. I said, "I'm telling you, that's your hog." Sure enough, we walked in there. We was headed there. The hog broke and run. We walked back out to the buggy, and he put the hog across that little high line we was on. Put him across the road. Went in there, sat down and bait him. We caught the hog. And the guy still denied that ain't the same hog. We brought the hog out, skinned him, brought the guy back down there, and stuck the same foot in that same hog's track. And that was the same exact hog. There was 2 hogs that crossed. One of them crossed. The dogs wasn't running him. Cody wasn't running him. Cody was behind this other hog. So, I mean, it could have been the other hog that crossed. But they was together.
Yeah. Oh,
and that was like, my mama, I made it point.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Dude.
Me and this guy still do not get along. I still can't stand him. He knows I don't like him. And I know he don't like me.
The old boy you was hunting with?
Yeah.
Okay.
Me and my dad went hunting. My dad's buddy came with us. He don't hog hunt or nothing. He just likes to go, and he's always hunted with Dad since he's a kid. And he came with us. Well, he invited him as, you know, his buddy that came with us. And I didn't know him then. That was the first time I'd ever met him. I knew of him. And since then, some things has happened and we don't get along.
Oh, no. I understand, man. There's a few, trust me, that I don't anymore. I promise I just don't say their names. I mean, I don't. And everybody's like, the people that do know who don't like me and I talk to them about it, I'm like, yeah, they could ruin my reputation, but I don't give a fuck. I'm still going to make the podcast. They could sit there and talk shit.
I don't know if he listens to podcasts or anything, but if he does and he hears this, he'll know exactly who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
He'll know I'm talking about him because we still don't jive.
Dude, hey, I did that shit yesterday, right? And I know they listen to this podcast, and I want them to hear it again, how respectful I am. They messaged me, and they said, hey, man, I really appreciate you not saying, like, not throwing me under the bus, not talking about my dogs. And I was like, yeah, you're fucking welcome. Because, dude, I could. You know what I mean? But I'm bigger than that. I ain't got no interest in that shit. I'm waiting for that day that them other individuals find out that, man, Alan really does care. More or less, I don't give a shit if people know me for hog hunting or running dogs or any of that. I want them to know that I cared about my fucking dogs. That I do this, that it's very passionate to me, and that it's, like my wife says, she's like, y'all don't understand, this ain't just a hobby for him, or this is a lifestyle. Like, I come home and my wife's doctoring shit, like, not doctoring as in dogs are fucked up, but like, trying to fix the yard. She's trying to make shit better. We're always trying to improve kennels. Every day we go out there, we're trying to improve something. And
man, that's something that I want to get but the upkeep, I like my chains. I want to get kennels because it looks nice and neat. You ain't got dog houses scattered everywhere. But the upkeep on kennels and the smell.
Yep.
I don't like the smell.
If I didn't live in Texas, they'd all be on. My dogs prefer a chain. I have to do the rotation shit. You'll find out. I'm sure. I'm not trying to say you don't know anything, or that's not what I'm interpreting. But what I'm saying is, I found out quick that, dude, I seen dogs go into depression mode when I put them in a kennel. So in the state of Texas, you have a certain amount of hour limit that they can be out on a lead, quote unquote. They can't be on a chain, so they got to be on a lead, and they can run up and down it, whatever. So
I live in the middle of nowhere, and my driveway's a quarter mile long. I'm the only person that lives back there. Both sides of the road is owned either by my uncle or by me, all the way to the back. I mean, nobody can see. I can mow my yard naked if I wanted to. So, I mean,
you catch hogs naked, so why not fucking mow it naked?
Yeah. I mean, it is nice. I got laying out of my back window, I feed deer at, and my hogs come up. You know, I got hogs that come up there, and it's perfect for puppies and stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Young dogs or whatever. Turning loose on them because they're there. My bulldog that I have now, we went through a little spell where I don't know what was wrong. I don't know what she was doing. I have no idea. But she was missing horrible. This one boar hog that I had on camera at the house, he's over 200 pounds, a good hog. The first time I bait him about 600 yards. I turned loose he was there like 20 minutes before I got home. I turned loose on him. They went 500-600 yards, ran him, stopped baiting, went in there, she missed. Hog ran forever after that, never stopped again. Turned around again, he came out, I turned loose. My dogs got to the point where I could unsnap on the chain, they knew what was going on, they just run over there. They went to the lane, bait him right there, 10 yards off the side of that little lane out the back window. Center, I was looking at the hog, I sent her, she smoked him, got flipped, and he broke and run. Never stopped again. I ended up baiting a big group of hogs and caught some shoats out of it.
God damn.
But I don't know what her deal was. I had just went 3 weeks before that was the first hog she had caught. And it was a good hog. He's probably about 200 pounds maybe. Had some good teeth on him. A lease guy had called me. Messaged me on Facebook, wanted to go out there. Somebody had tagged me in his post, so I went out there. And I'm going to say this, the track was 16 hours old.
Fuck.
And I'm going to say that my dogs took the track But I know that they winded him because he wasn't but 450 yards from the feeder. And they bait him in his bed. But he hadn't been on camera while I turned loose at in 16 hours. So that's what I'm going with. They bait him. I sent her to him. She missed. That was her first hog she'd ever seen. She missed. They ran him. And I told that guy that I was with, I said, man, I'm sorry. You know, we ain't going to stop him again. Well, they stopped him. We walked in there, turned loose, like she'd been doing it for years, smoked him. Nothing got cut. She got cut. She got cut up in the armpit right there in the pocket of the vest underneath the flaps.
Oh, yeah.
And the corner of her mouth. She got cut in the corner of her mouth the first time she went in there. Called him. I brought him home. I barred him. And put him in my pen. And I got 260 pounds of sausage.
God damn.
Mixed with some deer meat. And
I was about
hog.
to say, that's a good
Yeah,
one.
no, mixed with some deer meat and another hog. But I made 260 pounds of sausage out of him. I just killed him 2 weeks ago.
God damn. Man, that is badass. Gosh damn,
Well,
Colby.
I want everybody listening to know he hadn't been there in 16 hours that I turned loose on a 16-hour-old track.
That's fucking nuts.
No, that Jephabite, I'm quite sure she winded him. Because I turned loose, she went to the left. My male dog, he was still pissing and shitting, and I seen her come back by with her head down, and he went and met her, and it wasn't 10 minutes. They had him bayed. But I know she winded him, because that's a winding little bitch. She's got her place in the buggy. She rides in the middle of the front seat with her feet propped up on the windshield. None of my dogs bark when they win or nothing. And if she wins, she's a rocket out the front of the buggy.
God damn. That's good shit. That's all I know. I love talking to you tonight. This shit's been fun. It's been funny. It's been good. It's been good stories. I ain't got nothing else to finish up with unless you do.
Man, I ain't got much knowledge. I got a little bit of it, but I got some good stories.
Oh shit, yeah, you helped a lot, dude. This shit's been hilarious. I'm telling you though, watch tomorrow. I'm telling you, when I post this shit, the update on Facebook I'm gonna edit it to where it tells that you bought him to scale out. Wait how much shit talking starts.
Oh, yeah. I'll see if I can find the picture real quick.
Yeah, hey, but before we get off, you need to send me not before, but send me your favorite hog hunting picture. I'd really like to have the one, I don't want you butt-ass naked, but, the funny story one. You don't have to send that one if you don't want to. Hey, whichever one you want to send it to me, and I'll make that the cover photo.
I got several pictures I'll send you. I'm trying to. I got the two of the. I'm looking up now the teeth on that one, and that one that I'm sitting on top of. You ain't gotta use it, but I was just showing you for reference of him.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and cut this recording. You got anything you want to say real quick to him?
No.
All right.
I ain't got nothing to say. Just it's all about camaraderie, not about whose dog is better and everything else. I think that's what everybody's got away from. Is it's all about a competition of whose dogs is better instead of just hunting to hunt and have fun.
Yeah, for sure.
And, shoot the shit while you're hunting, and if you catch a hog, you catch a hog. If you don't, you still had a good time.
Yes, sir. That's a great way to end it, y'all. Hey, thanks y'all for tuning in to Tusks Tales once again. We go ahead and cut it off here. I'm going to talk with Colby a little bit after this, and we'll get y'all's content posted. Later, y'all.